Hey everyone, I'm back with a layout and I am using Cocoa Vanilla's, what's the newest collection? The newest collection, Storyteller. And then I'm also using this really cool stencil from, I believe it's from Picket Fence Studios. And I don't have the packaging for it in front of me, but I'm going to link it below. All of these products are from my little scrapbook store, and I will link all of the products below. Y'all, I love this stencil. Love it so much. So it's a small brick stencil that has like an opening in it. And it's a 6x6 stencil. But I want to show you how I'm going to use a 6x6 stencil, and I'm going to create a 12x12 layout with it. So it's really easy with a stencil to be able to just move your stencil and realign it like I'm doing here. And I absolutely love how this turned out. So I'm using two different blue inks from Tim Holtz. I believe it's Prize Ribbon, and then I used some chipped sapphire towards the edge. I believe those are the two inks that I used. I wanted a little bit of variation, but I didn't want a drastic color change. That's why I used the two inks that are very close in color. And I'm just using my little daubers with the little foam. I love the dome-shaped foam tops. Those are from my little scrapbook store as well. I'll link those below as well. I feel like the domed tops blenders work a lot better than the flat ones. You get less of a harsh like circle image when you're trying to blend. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know, like the flat ones, I just always feel like my blending, I can always see that little circle shape a little bit. But with the domed foam tips or tops or whatever, I just think it blends a lot easier. And you get so many in a package. And I just keep mine in a little, it's like a 5x7 little iris container, and I just throw all my oxides in one, and then my Distress or Catherine Pooler I do in another container, because you never want to mix your Distress oxide inks with your regular dye inks. You don't want to mix those two up. So don't be mixing using the same blending tool with those two different types of ink. I'm not sure if y'all knew that, but it's really important. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this entire perimeter of this layout, and I really love it. I can't wait to do this technique again. I really love the blue brick. I don't know. I just think it really pops on the page, and these colors go so well with the Storyteller collection. I'm going to be scrapbooking a photo from my husband's family reunion this summer, and I had decided to buy the Storyteller kit to scrapbook those photos. As you can imagine, we have a ton of photos, so I could probably do my own book just from the family reunion. But I'm going to try to keep everything with this line and maybe bring in other pieces, but make this color palette kind of consistent throughout all of those photos. Now I'm going to come in with some water droplets, and I'm just kind of sprinkle on water around the edges, and then I'll kind of pick that up with a paper towel. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera. I feel like I'm doing it right now, but anyway, and then I'll come in with a paper towel. If you don't see it, that's what I do. Splatter some water droplets and then come in with a paper towel, and you can pick them up. Clearly, I'm talking to someone here, and I'm sorry, I should have cut this part of the video out. But and then I go in with some white, I don't know if it's the Distress spray, but it's a white spray, and I'm going to add some white splatters all the way. Here I am. This is where I'm adding the water. See where I'm spraying it in my hand and then kind of flicking it on the edge? that's going to make that ink react, and when I put a paper towel on it, it's going to pull up some of that ink, and it's going to kind of make it look a little bit more distressed, and I really love how that looks. Then I'll add the white splatters. Now these two steps are just kind of more finite details. You're not going to see them on the camera, but if you're looking at the layout in person, you definitely can see all the little splatters and everything. And I just think those little bit of touches and those little bit of added, they add texture, they add a little bit more interest, and it just helps to finish off the layout. So once I get this done, I'll be honest guys, I did this part like 3 weeks ago and my printer wasn't working, and it took me this long to finally print my photo. And there is my photo. It's approximately 7 inches wide by maybe 4 inches tall. So I love, somehow when I cropped it, it just printed out in a really funny size, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'm showing you my collection here that I'm using, and oh, it has so many amazing pieces. Now I did pull a title from my stash, from super old foam thicker set. Just reminding you that that's the stencil I use because, like I said, I filmed this in 2 different sessions. So I'm gonna just basically layer up the photo with some of the different pattern papers, and then we'll start the title and the embellishing. The layout came together super quickly because I didn't want to add too much. I don't know. Sometimes I go overboard just with adding so many embellishments, and sometimes like in layouts like this you'll find I'm doing with that standard like three clusters, making the triangle and making it a little bit more simple. So I'm going to back the photo in that white with the florals and then the yellow, and then I'm going to bring in a cardstock that is kind of a lighter navy blue. But for a minute here, I'm thinking, well, maybe I want to back that photo in white. I kind of start playing around with different options. And then you can see I started doing this photo live, you guys. So I was kind of doing it all live, but then I ended up getting a phone call through my computer, and then I was talking to somebody, so I had to end up doing a voiceover. So sorry, it looks like I'm like explaining things and stuff in the layout, but it's not really probably matching up with what I'm telling you. So anyway, if you are new to my little scrapbook store, I will have all of the links below. They have a Facebook page for the business. She has a Facebook group called Layouts and More with inspiration from the design team, lots of announcements, things like that. You can share your work on that page. And then she has an online crops Facebook group because we do crops about usually 4 or 5 times a year. We do online crops, and there's lots of challenges and prizes and live videos. It's so much fun. But on the Layouts and More page, you will find a calendar which has all of our live schedule. We do Mixed Media Mondays, where on Mondays we give you either layouts or techniques. We show you techniques for different mixed media products. And then the designers will fill up the rest of the month. Not every single day, but certainly every week we have something with inspiration with live videos. So check out the links below. Join those groups. We would love for you to join. Such amazing customers and such amazing design team members. It is so much fun over there. If you have not shopped at my little scrapbook store before, I do have a code that will give you 10% off your entire first order. That is linked below as well, but it's TISAREF, and you can put that coupon code in and earn 10% off your entire order for your first time purchase. So Michelle is amazing. She does live sales, which are so much fun, where you can see everything. She holds all the papers and everything that comes in like a kit that she puts together, so you can kind of see it a lot easier than just looking at it in a website. And they're lots of fun. You can interact with the customers, and she always has some really fun things in her sales. We just finished up a sale, so I'm guessing there will be another sale in another week or two. She'll have another one, and you will find those on her My Little Scrapbook Store app, or on the My Little Scrapbook Store Facebook page, Facebook like business page. So that's where you can find those live sales. So here I've got my layers started, but I decided I needed something a little bit bolder for that final back layer in order to make it pop out. I originally was thinking I would use this plaid paper, and it would work fine. But then I pulled in that cardstock, and I just liked the solid nature of the cardstock more than the pattern paper. It just made the photo pop a little bit better. So that is what I'm going to end up using, and I am most likely going to trim it down with my scissors, because for those of you who know me, I literally cannot even cut straight with a trimmer. I don't know what my problem is, but I just don't cut straight with my trimmer, or I don't leave enough of a border. I can't get I just can't get it looking right. So typically I will find myself using my scissors to cut my paper when I'm backing photos. One of my favorite embellishments in the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Happy Scrappy bags or kits or whatever are her floral pieces. Oh my goodness. And you will find I'm going to use several of the floral pieces in this design, and boy, I should have gotten probably 2 packs of the florals because they're so pretty. I don't know. If y'all don't have this collection, you need to go check it out on the store. It's just, the colors are so wonderful. So, let's see. Here we go. I'm going to just get this laid down. So tell me, you guys, what is a collection you guys are using right now? Like, do you tend to use a collection like for several layouts and then put it away? Or do you pull out different collections? Like, say you're sitting down in your scrapbook room or your dining room table or your kitchen table, whatever, on a Saturday, and you have 3 or 4 hours to scrapbook. Are you going to sit down and use the same collection for the entire 3 to 4 hours and do several layouts out of one collection? Or do you hop around and go from one collection to the next, to the next, to the next? I'd love to know how you guys do it. Do you use a collection until you use it up? Because I don't. And I hop around so much, from collection to collection to collection. I kind of get bored of using the same color scheme over and over again. So unless unless I have photos that I'm absolutely loving and they go with that collection, that might keep me going. But my page I did prior to this one uses the 49th and Market, and then my next one I'm going to do is going to use Heidi Swap. So I am all over the board. I wonder how everyone else scrapbooks like that, if they do it that way or if they tend to stick with a collection for a little while until you've used it up. So I actually used my T-square ruler, I believe, on this to hopefully get that picture straight. Yep. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in my title. And like I said, this Cherish word is from a super old thicker set. I'm so excited to be using up something very old with something new. It's one of my favorite things to do in scrapbooking is mix it up. I love to get things used up in my stash, but who doesn't love using new things? So I always try to pull in something a little bit old with something new. that is such an adorable chipboard camera that I'm going to use down there with the title. And I'm going to put down my the rest of my title, which is just going to say family. And those are just black foam thickers from my stash. If Michelle has something similar to those in the store, I will link them below. But it's going to be just a simple title. And this collection actually has some amazing, I think they're foam stickers, titles as well. And I could have picked something from there, but this word cherish has been in my stash for so long, and I'm like, you know what? Let's use it up. Let's use it. It works. I need to just use it so that I can get it out of my stash. So that's why I chose to use this one, but there are plenty of amazing titles with the foam stickers in this collection as well. I'm going to put down, I started putting down that family stickers, and then I realized the F was going to run into the lower part of the H, so I end up having to kind of move that family word down a bit, which is totally fine. It actually was probably worked out better because it gave me a little bit more room for an embellishment cluster in that bottom right corner. So, oh my goodness, y'all. It is, what is today? I don't know what day it is, but it is a Saturday and it is September already. It's unbelievable to me that we are in September. I'm not, well, I am ready. I'm ready for the humidity to go away, but it just seems like the days and the months and the weeks are just going by so fast, and before we know it, it's going to be Christmas. And I am definitely not ready for Christmas. Although I do have the new Vicki Wooten Warm Wishes collection. I think it's Warm Wishes. No, Evergreen and Bow, Evergreen and Holly. Her new collection coming to me soon. So I'm going to be excited to pull that out and start doing some Christmas layouts. I've been pulling out a lot of my old photos from when I was a child, and they're original photos. So, you know, they've got that kind of vintagey looking look to them because they're from like the 70s and 80s. And I really think I'm going to pull out all my Christmas photos that I can find and use the Vicki Wooten Christmas, because I think the color tones in that are going to go really well with older photos. So I'm super excited, and I have some of the Warm Wishes left over, so I'm going to mix the two collections together because I think they're going to go together really nicely. So stay tuned on my channel for some layouts coming up using that. Here is my little cluster that I am putting together down there at the bottom, and I'm using one of those little floral pieces and the camera. And then I have these black acrylic hearts from my stash, and I don't recall, I think they're from Close to My Heart, is where those are from. So that's going to be my first cluster, and then my second cluster is going to be up here at the top. And you see where that ink is super dark there up at the top? Not right in the corner, well there too, but there I'm covering up that super dark ink. I didn't like it. And then I was trying to figure out how to cover up that dark ink right to the left of that flower. And I'm using this chipboard banner. I feel like it totally distracts your eye from how dark that ink blending is. I love that that worked out, because you know, we got to cover up our messes. I mean, if you do mixed media, you mess up. I mean, it never turns out exactly perfect. So you have to be aware of that and then be willing to kind of look for ways to cover up the areas that you don't really like. So I'm going to sprinkle these black hearts in all of the clusters. And then on my left hand cluster here, I'm going to put together some more of the flowers. I love the navy in this collection too. Really love it. Put this little cluster together. I'm going to bring in a red chipboard heart to bring kind of that red color to that side, and then, you know, add another different acrylic heart. But when I do clusters, what I'm looking for is I kind of want to have chipboard in every cluster. Since I've got it in one, I want to somehow add that chipboard in every cluster. So I've got the little heart in this one, I've got the banner up at the top, and the camera at the bottom. Then I just want to make sure I have any colors that are kind of prominent, which in this case, the red kind of stands out. So I wanted to make sure I had the red in each cluster. So I have the red heart, there's red florals, and then red in the banner at the top, and then the bottom there's red in the camera, and then a little bit of red in the flowers. So just to keep it consistent, that's how I like to do my clustering. They don't have to be the exact same thing, but bringing in those same textures and the same colors, that's kind of how I like to put my 3 clusters together. I am going to come back, and I did this off camera because I decided to add it a little bit later on, but I did come back and just use my ink, same ink color that I used for the bricks, and I watered it down, and I did some blue splatters in each of the corners, and you will see that in the final layout. And definitely check it out, because I really think that finished off the layout. I felt like it was a little bit too plain until I added those splatters, and I was like, yep, that did it. Splatters always seems to finish it off for me. Splatters and enamel dots or Nuvo drops. And right now I'm going to get out the puffy stickers, and they're enamel. And they have hearts and then little just enamel dots. I'm going to sprinkle some enamel dots, and then that is going to finish my layout. But there's lots of close-ups at the end, so please stick around and check those out. If you're not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. I would love to get to my next like threshold of subscribers. I'm really shooting to get to 2,000, I think 2,000. I'm not sure how many I have actually. But I'm wanting to start to kind of get a little more consistent on my channel. Yeah, I have 1.7 subscribers. I'm really trying to get up to 2,000. So if you're not a subscriber, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe and hit that like button. When you hit the like button, it tells YouTube that people are enjoying the video, and it kind of puts it out and advertises it a little more. So I would love for you to do that for me if you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions about any of the products or anything else, leave them in the comments below. I do try really hard to answer everyone within a day or two of getting the comment. It really makes me feel good when I see y'all comment, and y'all just make it fun to do these videos, and it's great to get to know everyone. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.